All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having a great morning. Good morning, Norm. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, traders. Happy
Good.
Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Good morning, everyone. Uh, Good time here. Let me see to get my headphones set up. Okay, perfect. So yes, good morning, everyone. As we finish this week and start a new month, so it's again time to end the week strong and start the month even stronger. So let's see what the market has for us today as we prepared to get going here. So, guys, as usual, top plays and highlights from yesterday. We had a really good watch list yesterday again. A lot of great moves. So we'll go over that. We'll see how the market is opening up this morning on this Friday. We'll also start our pre-market watch list as usual, guys. Gappers list, the Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers, and then we'll look at the chart and see what you guys got going on your end. So let's look at our list. We had a pretty decent size watch list yesterday. Just a lot going on, which is good and bad because sometimes it can you can miss moves because you cannot watch everything. So you got to be a little bit picky on the stuff you watch. And when you have a lot going on, you don't know which ones are moving. That might not give you a good opening strategy to trade at the open. And then when you have less, you can focus on those less that are gapping, and it could be easier to spot things. So it could be a bit overwhelming, but I think yesterday we had quite a bit of things that did turn out well from our list here. So let's start with JD. JD was actually really good, really strong at the open, as you can see here. Had a beautiful pre-market action, price action here, very strong. And then at the open, this is why you don't want to be short biased. Again, at the open, it was very strong. Look at this. Just pressure here, just heading higher and higher and higher, all the way from to 29. What this opened up at what pre-market around 26, all the way to 29, almost 30. And then look at the open. At the open, it becomes just a complete play towards the bottom. Sells off here, gives you a nice pullback. And then here it just becomes just weak, like getting engulfing pattern here. So you get a VWAP fake out here. This would have been tough to trade, especially if you're doing a opening range breakdown right on the 5 minute. This could have caught you here, but then it does this fake out here, nice engulfing pattern. Then it just completely loses VWAP and it drops nicely. So beautiful trade here on JD. Let's look at the 1 minute chart. So he traded pretty clean because JD can be choppy, but yesterday, just look at this 1 minute chart. This is beautiful here, guys. This is very clean. Rejects VWAP here, false breakout, and then it completely loses it all the way down to 27. I think it goes down to 26.50. Yeah, all the way down to 26.50. Next, we have Billy. Billy also was a beautiful opening range breakdown as well. Was a bit choppy here at the open on the 5 minute chart. You got this weird candle, but the 1 minute is very clean. Clearly rejecting this level, starts getting below VWAP here. It never can hold above VWAP, and it completely drops here. If you have shares for short, this is a great stock to watch. CGC, just very choppy at the open. I didn't find anything good on CGC really. Again, just 5 minute candles, very choppy. Didn't know what direction it was going to go in. Later in the mid morning, it kind of settled in a little bit, but still choppy. This is not great action as we saw on JD or Billy. These two were look how clean this is. You cannot get better than that. A little tough to chase it here, right? You don't want to get caught in a squeeze, in a short squeeze here. But again, just red candles after red candles, really, really nice and clean with a lot of volume. This is important here as well. And again, JD also just really clean here once it started losing it. SQ was actually, out of all the days, Norm, did you trade SQ yesterday? I didn't.
I did not, but I wish I have FOMO this morning from not trading
Oh
it.
my God, yeah. I mean, it's just, look at this. It doesn't usually do this so clean like this, but yesterday had an amazing day. Sells off here, pops up, does a mini bull flag that fails here. It does fail, but once it gets to VWAP, it consolidates one more time, and then it just takes off and never looks back. So again, just go ahead.
That pullback at 10 o'clock to just take it long and ride it throughout the day. I know a number of traders in our room took it
Yeah.
and had just an amazing day yesterday with it.
Yeah, no, this was stock, definitely one to watch. Again, I'm biased against SQ because the few times I have traded it has not traded well, very choppy. But man, yesterday was textbook really. Box, I traded Box yesterday here. It showed up like it was going to do a bull flag here, and I wasn't patient enough. So it did a nice bull flag here, consolidating. I got in here, got faked out, so got stopped out, and again here one more time. So I lost about $40 in this trade. But it did turn out to be great. I know some people held it, got a better entry down here and held it through this squeeze. Again, just perfect bull flag, guys. Look at the pole right here. It does not get better than that. Takes off, breaks the high of the day. And then if you had a really good entry, you could survive this pullback here, at break even, and then it goes even higher. So just a beautiful trade. Norm, I think you were in this, right? I think you was in this for the long haul.
Yeah, sorry, I had to refresh the room real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I got in box really early in the day. It was like 10:30 or so market time on this pullback and then consolidation 1884ish, and then I rode this out. It never hit. This is just too many times I've seen things and this action middle of the day. It never came back, touched VWAP, which my stop was just below it around 1972, 73.
Nice.
And so instead of just bailing on it out of lack of patience, I put a stop in it, just let it ride. I took a couple other trades, and then I ended up catching some on the pop and then some later in the day. So it was worth it, and I've had it happen too many times that you miss the move you're waiting for because you get impatient and just stop out.
Yeah, and actually that's exactly what happened to me. Again, I got an entry here. I just thought I was gonna lose it because I was looking for this breakout to happen a lot sooner. It didn't. It happened a little later, like around 10:15, 10:30. So that's exactly it. I got impatient. I got out of the trade, and didn't take advantage of that move. So Roku, let's see what Roku did yesterday. I wasn't watching Roku. I took it off because I just had too many, even though I had it here. But I know it was one that we were going to watch closely. Again, a very tough open here because you got this candle that sells down and it comes right back up. This could be a fake out. You can get caught thinking this is going to, be strong the way it has been the last couple of days. But it does this sell off right from here. It cannot break the high of the day, rejects it, and then it just starts dropping nicely here right through VWAP. This could have been a great entry here, because you don't know when it's going to stop going up. It's hard to time. You're never going to catch the top or the bottom on these trades, right? But this is a great entry signal right over here. Loses it completely, stop loss, anywhere above here, above the wick of this candle, and then it just drops down drastically, a couple of bucks. So beautiful trade here on Roku. Hopefully you guys took advantage of that move. T-Doc, I know Andrew traded this one as well yesterday. He did a very good job on this one. Was very crazy at the open though. Look at the volume. Look at this wick here. So a little while here, I wasn't able to find anything good on here or a good entry. Andrew did. He was able to take a really nice trade on this one. Next we had, then for the rest of the day, it really was just choppy, just chopping around, just kind of just hanging around, not really doing much. SQBG we had as a possible low flow to trade, but it did not give you any opportunities. Later on in the mid-morning, it kind of started getting higher highs here, but it really never broke out the way RKDA did, and we'll look at that one next. So RKDA really had a really nice pop here. Again, fallen angel strategy. I put this up on Twitter yesterday on my trade here. Again, just sells off, finds the bottom, starts consolidating here, making higher lows, and then here's you get the squeeze. Consolidates again, and then another squeeze, and then comes back down, tests the moving average in VWAP, and then again continues to just squeeze higher here. So again, beautiful trade on RKDA. The key on these low flow stock, guys, I do not usually trade them. The key is to trade small, right? Don't go in here just because the stock is 750. Don't go buying 3,000 shares because you need to give it room, right? A stop here, a 30-cent stop, 20-cent stop. If you take in a big number of shares, it could hurt your account. Yes, it's nice to have. I wish I would have had 3,000 shares after this move, right? I would have taken the whole month off, but it doesn't work that way, guys. Got to manage risk. All right, so that was our top plays from yesterday, guys. Let's look at what we have today. Our list is kind of big here, so let's get through it. Let's add some columns right over here. All right, excellent. So first up, we have GPS. GPS is GPS up 20%. 1.3 million shares traded. That's quite a bit of a volume already this morning. Pre-market action actually looks somewhat decent here. 1 minute chart looks good, has a nice little range to it, so it's creating some nice price action. Volume starting to come in here, get it heavier than what it was earlier in the morning, so that's good. So it looks good right now. I like the way it's forming. Hopefully it continue to pick up this type of volume here. Look at the daily chart. I don't like this daily chart though, guys. This right here is a very, very again, just choppy. This is not a great daily chart. So when we look at this, we like to see daily charts with a nice flow. Again, it looks very gappy too over here. So, but it is nice today. It could be in play because again, this gapping up 20%, so that's quite a bit. Next we have FL. I believe this is Foot Locker, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Foot Locker.
Yep.
So Foot Locker also gapping up here 13%, 553,000 shares traded already. So that's great. Not the best pre-market action. And what I mean by that is pretty flat, right? You have this pop here, and then the rest is pretty flat here. You have tons of volume just in this one candle here. I'd rather have those 133,000 shares traded all spread out. It creates a very clean price action. So it doesn't look great right now. We traded Foot Locker before in the past, and it's not clean. It doesn't move much, right? At least not clean move. See here, it's very choppy, kind of sideways, very flat most of the time. But today could be different and could be in play. Let's look at Bud. Bud is up 4.6. Wow, this must be a foreign stock just because of the daily chart. Look at the gaps in here. This doesn't look clean at all. Pre-market action also looks very flat, guys. Not much going on here. Not a fan of it. I will drop this one if when we get through the list here. It just doesn't look good at all for me. We'll give
one tricks a lot of people out because it's Budweiser, but it was acquired by InBev not too long ago, so it is foreign. It's based in Belgium.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Learned something new. I thought it was Budweiser. I'm like, oh, this is Budweiser. And I move over. I'm like, well, who the hell is this? And I don't know who that is, so I moved it back.
Yep.
All right, there we go. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, this daily chart just looks horrendous. I don't think, man. I mean, look how I traded yesterday. It had a decent open though yesterday. Nah, so. But again, just look at the after that. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't look too clean. So we'll see. It's in play today. It's gapping up 3.3. Hopefully, I'm sorry, 4.7. Hopefully that can do something for us today. But not a fan of that one. eBay is up 3.3, 211,000 shares traded. Not much volume in the pre-market action, guys, at the moment. It's very, very flat. Again, not creating a good pre-market action. Let's check the daily chart. Daily chart is so. Again, just looks pretty flat. Although it's trending up here, it doesn't look like it moves a lot. Let's get rid of these levels. We'll find some new ones. So not a fan of eBay at the moment, but let's see. Hopefully we can get more volume and a better pre-market action. EBIX up 3%, 112,000 shares traded. No pre-market action here at all, guys. This is pretty flat. You got some dots here and just, I guess, some really flat volume. So I'm not even going to look at this one. I'm gonna get rid of it right away. Next we have ACHC. I think we traded this one before in the past. No pre-market action. Again, you don't get fooled by the volume here. You have 311,000 shares traded. It is up 2.7, but the pre-market action is not creating any type of great activity for us to even look at in this trade. Also, this does not trade well. You could tell the daily chart is very choppy. Look at these wicks and the body of the candles, right? It's just not clean. Yeah, you had some great days over here maybe for a swing trade, but for day trading doesn't look too clean. So I'm gonna just get rid of this one here. Next we have NIO. I gotta say, I gotta stop being biased on NIO because it has been trading clean the last several days. So again, just seeing some guys taking some trades on this. That has been pretty nice. So I gotta probably change my thought process on this. So NIO is up 2.4, but again, when you see this type of pre-market action, this is a horrible pre-market action, guys. Does not look great. Yes, it has 320,000 shares traded, so there's volume here. You got one big candle with most of the volume right here. So I don't like to see that. I do not have shares for short, so it's just too many things that don't line up with the stock when I'm looking at the pre-market action. So I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't like it. IQ. See how IQ is doing today. IQ had a big day a couple of days ago. Look at that. Very nice there. But again, this is normal IQ though. This is what IQ does. This is why I don't like to trade this stock. It's been like this since it opened up some time ago, right? It's just been very, very choppy. I never had any success with IQ. Maybe once or twice, but nothing major. And today the pre-market action does not look great neither. So 143,000 shares traded. It is up 2.4, but at the moment it's very bad pre-market action. Could get better in the day. Again, it looks like it's been pretty strong the last couple of days. Had a sell-off over here, people taking profit, but it's bouncing up nicely here. So again, could be something in the mid-morning play if it decides to get volume and settle in. But I don't want to get stuck in any of this crap here. Look at this here, right? It's just very, very, very choppy. Doesn't really move. So I'm gonna get rid of IQ right now. If you guys see that one get better, shoot it back at us, and me and Norm will take a look at it. ZS up 15.7, 105,000 shares traded. I don't like the daily chart here. It just looks very flat. See this? Just flat all around, not much going on. But they're gapping up 15.7 today. What is the float on this? 60 million. What kind of company is this? Scalers, I never heard of it. Pre-market action right now looks pretty flat. Again, it looks like it gapped up last night, actually, after market hours. So it gapped up last night, and today, I don't know, today just looks very flat at the moment. Only 106,000 shares traded so far. We can keep it on here to see if it starts getting better. But two things I don't like at the moment is the volume is not there, and also the daily chart just looks very flat. It doesn't really move. So let's see what we get out of ZS. On here we have BNFT. Down 2.9, 194,000 shares traded at the moment. Daily chart looks decent, looks good here. Starting to drop now. Where is the action for today on my 5-minute candle? All right, here we go. Oh, not a great pre-market action though, guys. Again, just doesn't look clean. It is losing some of the stuff it had gained in the pre-market, so it was up a bit almost previous day close, losing it now. So not sure about it. Doesn't look too clean. Let's see if it can get better, but at the moment it's not great on this one here, BNFT. Next we have Tesla. Tesla has a lot of news going on yesterday. They had their announcement come out of a new model or so, I think it was.
A new model, and they're closing most of their stores. They're going to go to internet only.
Yeah, so that's reflected today, down 4.2. But again, Tesla could be hard to trade. You got to be very careful with Tesla. It's usually in play almost every day. You just got to make sure you don't get caught in some kind of chop. So today, tons of volume, 424,000 shares traded. Pretty choppy price market action, but this is usual for Tesla. It can still give you a really nice play at the open. So we'll find some levels on this one, and we'll see if we can get something good at the open. NTNX is down 24%. That's nice. What's the news on NTNX? Let's go over to our Benzinga over here. NTNX. So they got downgraded. What else we have going on here? New target price lowered. They had earnings. Yep. So earnings release looks like yesterday after hours. So earnings and guidance. So they're gapping down 24%. So that looks good. Not in love with the daily chart. Looks better here. Over here it looks a little crappy. But I like the fact they're down so much. We have very clean level down over here. So this could be good. So yeah, I like the way this is looking right now on the daily chart. Pre-market action, not the greatest. It does have some volume. We got to be careful on this one because I could tell this one does move over here. You got some very big candles, some good range that you don't want to get caught in. So looks good. I like the fact that it's down so much. We'll definitely keep an eye on this one. What else we have in our gappers list? I think that covers about everything. Yep, that covers all. Let's take a look. Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainer, guys. Let's see what we have in here. Starting with PBYI. Don't like the pre-market action. Doesn't look clean. No volume. Only 62,000 shares traded. Doesn't look clean. FNKO. Nothing happening there. ZS we looked at. We have here already. Up 14%. Needs to get more volume. GRSHW. When the stock is 5 ticker, what is it again? I know it falls under. Oh, this looks horrible. This is not tradable, by the way. Let's skip this. I know, but I know when it's five letters, it's a different exchange or something. I forgot what it is.
Usually, it's just useless.
Yeah. So that looks like crap anyway. X-rate, no good, no volume. PTLA is putting in a good pre-market action in the 5-minute chart here, but again, just doesn't have the volume to make it interesting today. So we'll skip it. RBZ, no volume, not a good pre-market action, and then club, nothing going on here. So Nasdaq active, guys, right over here, the second column we'll go through. IMGN, 4.7 million shares traded. That's nice. Down 50%. What's the float on this? It's under $5, so we got to be careful with it. Actually, it's a larger flow, 132,000 million share flow. So it's a larger flow. It's down quite a bit. Doesn't seem like it moves much, but today could be the difference. So I like the fact this is down so much. What is the news on this? Something's got to be going on. Let's check.
It's a biotech, so it's probably
Yeah,
cancer trial failed.
There it is. So I doubt we're gonna have any shares for short once the market opens. It's gonna probably go on short selling restrictions if I even have any shares to short at that time. I do have them now, but that's probably gonna go away. So looks interesting, guys. Let's throw it down here. Although it's not a low flow, I'm gonna put it down here because I wanna be mindful of the size I take on this. Right, it's $3, under $5. I wanna be mindful. I don't wanna go in here with a full size and take 10,000 shares. You know, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to put it down there just to remind myself I got to be careful on the risks there. Next, we have NVAX. NVAX is another one, 1.3 million shares traded. No, this is a penny stock. I'm not trading this. So this is under a buck. I'm not dealing with that. GRPN. GRPN is has the volume, but not a good pre-market action. This is horrible, guys. Look at this here. You want to be involved in that. Eric is always on this gappers list, never with nothing good, so not tradable. Nasdaq ETFs, AMD, horrible pre-market action, has the volume, it's just nothing good happening here. Another ETF, NTNX, I think we have already. Yeah, we have here down 24. Tesla we have. SGYP, not tradable. I'm gonna go down to JD. I see JD here. JD put in a good day yesterday. Actually, JD could be interesting today. Yeah, JD could be interesting today. 395,000 shares traded so far. Not the best pre-market action, but you know what? It could be interesting. I'm going to put it down here. Usually stocks, me and Norm talk about this a lot. Stocks that have a big day could be in play the next day also. Maybe not right at the open, but maybe a little later on, mid-morning, they can put in some kind of play. All right, guys, we have quite a bit. Anything that we have not gone over that you have on your end that we can take a look at? All right, Jan R.
Yeah, I know a few have mentioned Valet.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up that one right now. So Valet, I think we had this in the past before. Tons of volume, 2.5, down 2%. Wow, this is a horrible daily chart. I know we traded before, but this daily chart, guys, here, look at this. This is the stuff you don't want to be involved in. Does not mean that you cannot find a good play today on Valet. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one with the bad news, right? It has some horrible news, or some people would, I don't know, I forgot, but I remember this now. Yeah, so this is probably some more news is out now. Yeah, this could be in play. We do have shares for sure. It is a nicey stock, so you got to be careful. Again, it could be very choppy. Several days ago, it did put in some good moves, and I think I traded it and was able to take some profits out of it. But again, just got to be very careful with this one. But it does look like it's in play this morning. All right, what else we have? VIG QQQ is an ETF, Nasdaq ETF. So it is tradable. I don't trade it. I don't trade ETFs. But again, this is whatever the market is doing. It's kind of like it's the SPY, right? Whatever the market is doing, they're tradable. But I just don't trade them. What else we have here, guys? So let's look over Luis Santiago, AMC. Let's take a look at AMC. So Luis, the only issue with AMC, it doesn't have any volume right now. So it is up 8.3. It could be in play later in the mid-morning, but at the open, we want to see stuff that has a little more volume and a good pre-market action. NVTA. Oops, hold on. Yeah, MVTA, same here, just no volume, and this is a penny stock too. We usually don't trade anything under $5. I usually do not trade. Next we have OMER. Same here, just no volume. Let's do a few more. PBYI.
PBYI looks somewhat okay.
Yeah, it does. Actually, why didn't it change my, here we go, PBYI. Now I got it. Yeah, so PBYI, we have yeah, somewhat okay. You're right. It's up quite a bit, 30%. What's the news on this? I do have shares for sure, so that's nice. Yeah, daily chart looks better than some of the ones we looked at. Doesn't have a lot of great volume right now, but the daily chart does look good, gapping up 30%. That's interesting. So we'll throw it on here. Let's see what we can get out of PBYI. PBYI. All right. Next we have ROAN.
Zero volume.
Zero volume on this one here. SQ. We'll take a look at SQ. Had again huge day yesterday, selling off quite a bit right now. Yeah, SQ is interesting, guys, too. I mean, again, doesn't have a great volume right now, but SQ does look interesting. Had a big day yesterday, selling off here below the previous day close. Yeah, this could be in play today, but we have way too many. I'll put SQ on here. I'm definitely gonna give it a sum and wait for them to hit our scanners. But SQ does look interesting. JD, someone mentioned JD. We have JD already on here, so we'll go through it in a second in details. So bit 2018 TVIX is again, this is a volatility index. I don't trade it. It is tradable. I have traded it before in the past, but it's not something I put on my watch list to trade. Right. I'll wait to see how the market is reacting, and then if we can get a good move out of it, we can tune into it. All right, guys, we got quite a bit coming up, almost 8:55 Eastern time. Just want to take a few moments to do some announcements. If you are in the Montreal area, there's a modern trader summit in Montreal, and Andrew is going to be actually one of the speakers there. So that's going to be on June 22nd this year. So if you're in the area, he will love to definitely see you there, and you can hear him speak. He's going to be one of the speakers there. And I think it's going to be a great show. So if you can make it, we'll put the details out in a second. I'll send a link right now on this here. So yeah, so make sure you check that guys out. Check out the link we're going to post in a second, and then you can definitely meet up with Andrew there. Also, another one is London, UK. If you are in the London, UK area, Andrew is going to be there as well. So he would love to have a meetup on March 8th. We'll post another link on that as well. Abby, if we could post those on the YouTube chat room, that'd be great too. So if you want to meet Andrew again, if you're in the area, London, and in the London area, Andrew will be there on March 8th. I'll send the details in a second. You can meet up. You do not have to be a member of Bareboot Traders to meet up with Andrew, right? So if you want to come down, have a chat, get to meet some of the traders of our community, that's a great time to do it. All right, guys. So
grab a pint.
Exactly. That's the important part. So let's get through this list. We have quite a bit here. So let's go through. We're going to be picky today. Again, just way too many. GPS, very choppy price market action right now in GPS. Just look at this, bouncing all over the place at the moment. But what I like about GPS, I think is, again, it's up quite a bit. I don't like the daily chart, but it's up quite a bit. I think it could be interesting. So let's find some levels here. Top of the pre-market right now, 31.70. Low of the pre-market, we're sitting at 30.25. Mark that over here. Let's find some levels in between here. What's the last time? All right, so we do have some levels here. Could mark this day over here, 29.09. That's a good level as well. And the way we're finding these levels, guys, let me just zoom in a little bit so we can make it cleaner. So you want to find extremes, right? So as this is going down, see, that's a great level there. It comes right back up, right back down to that level. So it tests this 29.09 several times, even here and here. So that could be a good support level for this price action. Above that, you have 31.69 is the pre-market high, but above this, obviously clean level right all the way over here. You have several days cannot crack this 34.19. That could be a good resistance. And then over here, you have an area of 32.55 where you have several days here. This one comes up for it, sells off. This one barely cracks it, then sells off. And then these days cannot, they break a little bit, but cannot really get above that 32.55. Then you have this nice drop. So that's how you want to find your levels. Make sure you check out Class 2 on YouTube on more details on how to find these levels. So again, I think we got some very clean levels here. We got the 200 day moving average coming in here. So I'm going to mark that also, 29.28. So again, pre-market action looks a little choppy, but I do like the fact that it's up 19%, tons of volume. We do have shares for short. It is a nicey stock, so we'll gotta be a little more careful. We could expect some choppiness at the open. Foot Locker, I don't like. It's just very flat. I don't think it has the volume again, 616,000 shares traded, but it just doesn't look good at all, pre-market action wise. So I'll get rid of this one. Budweiser. What do you think about Budweiser, Norm? I'm kind of in the fence on it.
It's very difficult to trade. I've not traded it, but I've watched it in the past, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of Budweiser, guys. Again, in the daily chart too. Look at this. This looks horrible. Doesn't look clean at all. We'll get rid of this one. We got plenty of other ones we can watch. eBay, eBay's up 3.1, 235,000 shares traded. Pre-market action doesn't look great, but I know eBay can move though. If it can get the volume, it can put in a good move. But if I'm going based on this pre-market action, again, it's just actually there's no volume. Look at this, there's nothing happening. So yeah, let's just get rid of it. Let's not even give it a shot. See ya. ZS. ZS is just looks all over the place a bit here in pre-market action. Not much volume actually. Now that I look at it, it's gapping up nice. I like the fact that it's gapping up nice, but it has two things that are not going for it. It's all this horrible price action on the daily chart, right? Just pretty flat, and then no volume, not a good pre-market action. So gapping up 14.4 is not enough for us to put it on our watch list. We need to get at least two of the three things that we're looking for to put it on the watch list. So let's get rid of this. BNFT. BNFT is losing it a bit here, down 3.7. Does have some volume. Seems like it's trying to get better on the volume here. So we'll find some levels. Daily chart looks okay, not great. You know, maybe 5 out of 10, not great, but we'll find some levels just in case. 47.18, low of the pre-market at the moment. Below that, we have a clear level down here, obviously 40.38, right? Got a huge drop all the way down to that level, bounces back. Another, you got several wicks testing this 43.96 right here, so that could be another level. And then I think this one also here, you got some consolidation period happening here at around 45.58. So several levels for us to look at there. Towards the top, you have the previous day highs right over here, but we need something in between there. Or you got the previous day close actually right here. So actually that's more than enough. We don't need to add more to that. Plenty of levels towards the top side. Tesla, let's remove some of these levels for Tesla. Let's get some fresh levels. Pretty wacky daily chart. But again, in Tesla, it's like an Nvidia. If it can settle in, it can give you a really good trade. So towards the bottom, we have 289. It's a good level right here. We got 2 days bouncing off of that. Above that, you have the previous day low, previous day close, and previous day high. And Tesla could move. So that's not a weird if it hits those days. But let's mark the high of the pre-market right now at 310. So let's mark that down. Low of the pre-market is at right over here at 304. So we'll mark that down as well. What else we have here? So I think that's plenty of levels. We don't want to get this all congested here. Plenty of levels for Tesla. It's kind of trading within this range right now between 310 and 303. So you see this here happening. So let's see if it can break out of that. NTNX is it's gapping down quite a bit. Doesn't have a great daily chart. It's pretty flat, guys. And the pre-market action looks a little crazy, but I do like the fact that it's gapping down so much. Usually stocks that gap down this much, like a WTW, which one we had before, Vale also gapped down a lot that one time. They can put in some good moves. So I got 39.14, high of the pre-market 39.15, low of the pre-market 39.14. Below that, we have a level right over here at 35.43. Maybe we can head down and test that. Actually, that's a very clean level. Look at this 35.43, guys. It comes right down to it, bounces back. Right down to it, bounces back. Right down to it, bounces back. So guess what? If we get to that level, don't go short. The chances are it's going to bounce back. Wait for the price action to give you some kind of indication that it's not. So, but if we lose this 37.18, it could be a good opportunity for us to get, Yeah. So I like those levels, very clean. Towards the top, not as clean towards the top, but I'm gonna mark this one here and I'll explain why I'm doing 41.63. You have this range happening here, right? So you have this range. If you look at where you have at least some pauses and loss of momentum, it is around this level. Look at this consolidation, right? Drops from here, comes right back to it, consolidates. It does break it, but it comes right back to it again. Then it comes here, it breaks it, sells off, comes right back to it. So that's what I like about that 41.63, that throughout all these weeks here, it has some kind of support or resistance or consolidation. So 41.66 looks like a decent level for this here. So let's see what NTNX does for us today. Again, doesn't have the best daily chart. Pre-market action is okay, maybe a 6 out of 10 if that, but it could be a good opportunity. It's down quite a bit. JD, I wanted to watch JD, but it's really not putting in a good pre-market action. Yeah, I'll wait for this one to hit the scanners. Do we have levels? We have tons of levels on this already, guys. I think we looked at them yesterday. Towards the bottom, previous day close, 27.43. Previous day's high and lows right over here. Towards the top, previous day highs right here as well. So plenty of lows for JD. I'm going to wait for this one to hit our scanners. I'm going to remove it from here. Valley just looks crazy price action. Horrible daily chart, guys. This is not a great daily chart. But we got some serious volume here, so let's watch. It'll be interesting to see what we can get out of it. So low of the pre-market 1174. Below that, again, just hard to find clean levels when you got this stuff going on, right? So I'm gonna mark this one 1132, and then this one down here. Towards the top, we have plenty. Look at these all high and lows, previous day close. So plenty of levels towards the top. You can even mark down this day over here. This day here, you have a kind of like a doji 1197, and you got these 2 days also testing it. So 1197 could be a good spot. And look how that 1197 comes right down to this. You lost momentum. It sells all, but it comes right back to and loses momentum here again around that $12 mark. So that could be a good support if it drops again there. PBY, PBYI. At the moment, just it looks good, but it's not getting the volume. So I'm gonna remove it. It's up 30%. I mean, that's nice. So we'll get some levels in here, but I'm gonna remove it. But just in case it hits our turbo breakdown, turbo breakup, it could be a good trade because we do have shares for short and on this stock, so we could play it both ways. High of pre-market 3660, low 3108.05. Do we have anything in this gap? So it basically just closed this gap today. That's what it did. I mean, there's nothing in between here. Just clearly closed that gap. So that's interesting. So towards the top, we have moving average coming in. I'm going to mark this moving average 38.81. Let's mark that. And look how that moving average also is supported by these days over here. So that's interesting. Then I'm going to mark this day up here just in case it really runs 41.76. So again, just looks interesting here, but just no volume. So I'm going to remove it. But in case it hits our turbo breakdown, turbo breakup, we have it on our list. SQ, this is the one that does look interesting though. It's going red to green. So it was, I'm sorry, green to red. It was green for the day. Now it's red. Had a big day yesterday. And actually we have some levels in here already. Previous day highs right here. And also, which is the high of the pre-market. And then previous day high over here, previous day close, and we have 78.24 and then 76.91. So plenty of levels on SQ. Let me see if we can find something a little. Yeah, plenty of levels on SQ. I think we don't need to add anymore. All right, guys, and then IMGN. What is going on here? IMGN is not a low float. Tons of volume. Low of the pre-market at the moment is 219. Let's mark that down. What's the next? Do we have anything else on here? This is an all-time low. Nope, it's not. We got some levels right over here. Oops, zoomed in too much. Here we go. All right, 287. It could be a possible level below this if it decides to sell off. We do have shares for short. Not sure how long that's gonna hold, but we do have something here at 155 or so. Again, not a fan of stocks that are priced under $5, but we did trade some. We have traded some good stocks if they could put in a good move. This is not a low flow stock, so we can possibly get a good move out of this. I'm gonna mark down here 350 as well. 350. You got this candle kind of selling off from here. So that's what we have so far, guys. Anything else? We have a couple of minutes. We can look at one or two stocks you might have on your end. Foot Locker is gaining volume. Yeah, but it's pretty
still
flat.
Relatively flat though.
Yeah, it's pretty flat at the moment. So yeah, not a fan.
Just because it's up so much, I've got Foot Locker on my list to keep on the eye midday.
Yeah. This is something we can tune in a little later as well. So high of pre-market 70.97, low 62.10. What do we have else in here? Yeah, so yeah, definitely I would be on the lookout. Again, we gotta make sure we check our scanner. So I'll be on the lookout in the scanners to see how that pops up. We got some support right over here, 65.38, and then above here as well we have another one at a 69.44. So some pretty clean levels there. We could definitely add to this chart. All right, so we're looking at Cron. Let's see what Cron is doing, or Crone. Crone is yeah, it's not doing much right now. It's bouncing here from a couple of days, but right now at the moment it's not doing much. It has 128,000 shares, but not much going on. All right, guys. So let's just. I think we have a good list right now. GPS. What's going on with GPS? Looking pretty. Again, pretty crappy price action on GPS now, but it's up quite a bit. So I want to see if it can lose it and head down here. BNFT doesn't look great neither on the pre-market action right now. So let's see what it can do here. But it is down also, so I like that. Tesla, a little bit choppy, but I think it'll be in play today. NTNX. Good volume. See if it can lose this here. It's down quite a bit. See if it can lose and head down to this level 35.43. But you do not want to be short bias, guys. This thing could squeeze up. Someone could say, hey, it's a great price for it, 3 years later, and they can start buying this thing up. Who knows? Valley right now, it's got tons of volume, but it's kind of stalling out now. It's kind of losing the volume, so not looking too great at the moment. And SQ is looking good. I like SQ, losing it here, going green to red, and just about to make a new pre-market low. Norm, anything on your end that you have that you'll be watching today?
The two you don't have, Funko, FNKO. It's gapping up. It'll probably hit the scanner here in the next 5 minutes or so. It's got volume coming in. And then Splunk, SPLK, which just actually hit the gappers. I've had it on my list, but it just passed 100,000 shares. Splunk probably looks the best out of them to see what it does. And it's at an all-time high. So,
what was that second one you said?
Splunk, SPLK.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Wow, this is an all-time high too, you said, on this one? Yeah, it's always interesting when stuff are an all-time high. Because if they break, they can really go for it. All right, guys, we're coming up on 9:15, a few minutes. Andrew will be on at 9:15, and he will go over his list. And then what I'd like to do is, again, listening to what Andrew's doing, and then he might see something that we might not have seen on these stocks here. So he goes through the watch list again. Yes, it's repetitive, but it's good for you to sit back now and see what he's doing, what he's watching, get his intake. And if he might come back and say, hey, Carlos, this BNFT is crap. He'll remove it. You know what? I'm going to remove it. So you learn from his experience. The great thing about being part of the community. So he'll go through his list. I'll see what he has, and then I'll adjust mine accordingly. And then right before we turn off the YouTube feed, I'll send you guys my watch list, and I'll send you guys Brian's watch list as well, so you could have it also. All right, guys. What else do we have here? A couple of minutes. Any questions, anyone, on this great Friday morning? MU, Alex M. Let's take a look at MU. Again, MU just hasn't really been in play. It has put in some days. It has been great, but hasn't really been in play for me. I haven't had a good move in MU in a while. Oh, for a swing? Oh, we have to ask the swing master. That'll be Brian. Yeah, so I don't do swing trading right now. I want to get into it, so I'm gonna pick up an account so I can swing trade with, maybe a TOS account or something. And I want to get into swing trading, but right now I'm not doing that. So Brian will be the best person to ask on this, Alex. And make sure you sign up if you're not already part of the swing trading alerts that Brian is sending out every now and so. Make sure you sign up for that. A lot of really good moves. Definitely, I'm getting the fear of missing out every time I see these moves, and it's just like, wow, that's a great move, and people are really taking advantage of it. So.
Somebody's asking in the room, will Roku drop at the open? And, we talk about it all the time, but our job is to watch the charts and react to what we see and what it tells us, and not try to predict, because, we have no idea. It could go up of what's going to happen at the open. So we just, we take what information is painted on the picture in front of us and try to do our best to determine what's going to happen at the time. So you don't have that information until the bell goes ding, really.
Exactly. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining us. Have a great morning. Trade safe. I will shut you guys down now, but I will send you guys the two links that we talked about, the Modern Trader Summit in Montreal, so you guys can check that out. If you can make it on June 22nd, that would be great. Have a great Friday, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Trade safe, guys. Have a great weekend and a great Friday.